Welcome to my channel. Have you ever wondered how a pear gets to us? Not only a familiar fruit, pears are also a symbol of hard work and creativity in modern agriculture. In the U.S., more than 300,000 tons of pears are produced each year, bringing in export revenue of more than $1 billion USD and reaching more than 40 countries. Behind every pear is a combination of nature, technology, and the love of labor of farmers. Today, we will explore the magical journey of pears, from planting in the fertile valleys of California, through careful care, meticulous harvesting, and modern processing. A fruitful pear crop starts from the very land where the tree is planted. To create a solid foundation for pear trees, farmers need to prepare the soil carefully, turning the field into an ideal place for the tree's growth. Good soil is a prerequisite. Pear trees need loose, well-drained soil for roots to thrive, with an ideal pH of 6.0 to 7.0. Before planting, the soil is plowed to a depth of about 30 to 40 centimeters, breaking up the hard soil layer below, creating conditions for the roots to reach out and absorb nutrients. After plowing, farmers add organic fertilizer or composted manure to enrich the soil, helping the plants grow sustainably from a young age. An amount of 2 to 3 tons of fertilizer per hectare is spread evenly throughout the field, bringing fertility to the soil. The best time to plant pears is in the fall, when natural rains will help the tree quickly adapt to the new environment, or in early spring, when the cool weather helps the tree easily take root. Each tree is planted 4 to 6 meters apart, creating ample space for roots to grow and branches to spread. Keeping this distance not only ensures that plants do not compete for nutrients, but also helps light and air circulate, minimizing the risk of disease. Fragile young pear trees will be supported by sturdy stakes, preventing the tree from breaking in strong winds. This is an important step for the tree to grow upright, preparing for the strong growth period later. Pear trees need water to grow, but the amount of water must be adjusted accordingly. During the first 2 years, the tree roots are still developing, so using a drip irrigation system is the ideal choice. Depending on weather conditions, farmers usually water 2 to 3 times per week. During dry periods, combining drip and sprinkler irrigation systems will ensure water is evenly distributed throughout the garden. For plants to grow well, fertilization needs to be done in stages. During the first year, farmers focus on applying nitrogen-rich fertilizers to promote stem and leaf growth. The recommended amount of fertilizer is 50 to 70 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare, divided equally into 2 to 3 times a year. Second year onwards, switch to fertilizer rich in potassium and phosphorus to support flowering and fruiting, ensuring the best quality fruit. After 2 to 3 years, when the tree has grown stably, pruning is a step that cannot be skipped. Removing weak, dry, or diseased branches helps the tree focus nutrients on healthy branches. Also create space between branches to allow light and air to circulate evenly throughout the canopy, helping to reduce the risk of fungal diseases and increase photosynthetic efficiency. Pears often encounter problems such as leaf spot disease and leaf-eating insects. To protect the garden, farmers need to clear the grass regularly. Use neem oil or biopesticides to control pests without affecting the environment. Caring for pear trees is not just work, but also an art combining technique, experience, and love for nature. Efforts during this period will lay the foundation for a bountiful harvest. The flowering stage is the most important time for pear trees, marking the beginning of the fruit-bearing process. The small white flowers not only create a charming beauty for the garden, but also determine the yield and quality of the crop. Pear flowers usually begin to bloom in spring from March to April, depending on the cultivar and climatic conditions. In order for the flowers to bloom at the right time, pear trees need to experience a cold period in winter called chilling hours. This is a necessary condition to stimulate the germination and flowering process. Pear trees depend on cross-pollination to set fruit, which means they need help from pollinating insects, especially honeybees. Bees carry pollen from one flower to another, helping the pollination process take place effectively. To ensure high pollination rates, farmers often place 3 to 5 beehives per hectare in pear gardens during blooming season. As harvest season approaches, California pear gardens enter their most vibrant time of the year. This is when all the care efforts, from soil preparation to pollination, are rewarded with ripe, delicious pears. Pear harvest season usually takes place from July to September, and farmers determine the ideal time based on natural signs. Ripe pears have a characteristic color. The Bartlett variety will turn pale yellow, while the Bosc variety retains its characteristic brown skin, but is softer to the touch. Pears are often harvested by hand. The farmer gently rotates and picks the pear to avoid damaging the bark or branches. The pears are then carefully placed in a cushioned basket to maintain freshness. During peak season, thousands of workers go to farms to pick pears. A skilled worker can pick about 800 to 1,200 pears per day, equivalent to 200 to 300 kilograms. Workers often start harvesting early in the morning, when the temperature is still cool, to avoid damaging the pears under the hot sun. The average working time per day lasts from 6 to 8 hours, with alternating breaks to ensure health and labor efficiency. On large farms, modern machinery becomes a powerful assistant. Soft mechanical arms harvest pears quickly and safely, sending them through conveyor belts to large containers, ready for grading. With modern machinery, one harvester can replace the labor of 20 to 30 workers, harvesting about 10 to 15 tons of pears per day, depending on the size and density of the crop. The above numbers not only show the scale of the pear agriculture industry, but also show the coordination between human labor and technology in ensuring the productivity and quality of each pear. After harvesting, pears are quickly transferred to cold storage with temperatures ranging from -1 degree Celsius to 1 degree Celsius to maintain freshness and nutrition. Each fruit is carefully classified by size, color, and quality, preparing for the next journey, processing and export. Here, pears undergo a thorough cleaning process. Pears that still have dirt on them will be washed through a high-pressure water spray system, removing all impurities but keeping the delicate skin intact. After washing, the pears are put into the sorting line. Each pear is inspected and divided into groups based on size and quality. Fruits that do not meet standards, such as having deep spots or scratched skins, will be separated to be processed into byproducts such as juice or jam. Pears that meet the highest standards will be carefully packaged for export or domestic distribution. From the fertile soil of California, pears are not only the result of hard work, but also a symbol of the combination of nature and technology. The journey of pears, from being planted, cared for, harvested, to processed and exported, is a testament to the creativity and constant efforts of farmers and the modern agricultural industry. Today, each pear you enjoy not only has a sweet, fresh flavor, but also contains a story about love for the land and pride in each product. Thank you for watching today's video. If you love stories about agriculture and want to learn more about the magical journey of other foods, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. See you in the next videos. Hello friends, welcome to our Connor 98 Discovery channel. Today we will explore the amazing journey of one of summer's most beloved fruits, watermelon. Did you know that there are more than 1,000 different varieties of melons in the world? They have a sweet and fresh flavor and are a favorite of many people. Before starting, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any interesting videos. First, when preparing land to plant watermelon, you need to choose a location that receives enough sunlight and has spacious space. The soil needs to be well drained, ideally sandy loam, with a pH of 6.0 to 7.0. Before planting, remove weeds and stones and loosen the soil to a depth of 30-45 centimeters. Next, farmers prepare the field with a special plastic mulch. Did you know this plastic coating has many benefits? It helps warm the soil, retain moisture, suppress weeds, and protect plants from soil-borne diseases and pests. This is very important for watermelon growth, especially during the germination stage. Did you know that to ensure a good harvest, farmers do not plant melon seeds directly into the fields, but instead, they plant them in nurseries? This is an important step in the watermelon growing process. To have healthy young plants, many people start sowing watermelon seeds indoors about 3 to 4 weeks before planting them outdoors. Growing this seedling requires technique and diligence. A small team can plant 1,000 to 2,000 trees per day, depending on weather conditions and planting methods. Watermelon plants need space to grow, so plant young plants at least 3 to 4 feet apart within rows and 6 to 8 feet between rows. This gives the plant enough space to develop its root system and vines. In 2023, the total watermelon growing area in the United States will be about 130,000 acres. Florida is the state with the largest planted area with 39,000 acres. Farmers often install drip irrigation systems during land preparation. Watermelons need a steady amount of water, especially during the flowering and fruiting stages. Lack of water can cause fruit to be small and less sweet, while too much water can cause root rot and fruit cracking. Nowadays, use drip irrigation systems or irrigation pipes to let water slowly seep into the soil, helping roots absorb water effectively and keeping leaves dry. Avoid watering directly on leaves and fruit to reduce the risk of disease. After germination, the plant enters the vegetative stage, when it will grow leaves and climbing stems. This phase usually lasts about 3 to 4 weeks. And 1 to 2 weeks later, it will begin to bloom. Watermelon plants have both male and female flowers. Male flowers usually appear first and are often larger in number. Female flowers, which produce fruit, will follow. Pollination, mainly by bees, is important for fruit development. When watermelons have reached maturity, they are harvested. Farmers carefully inspect each fruit to ensure quality. Melons with bright colors, a pleasant aroma, and a hollow sound when tapped are a sign they are ripe. Every year, about 4,200 workers from Mexico flock to watermelon farms in Florida to harvest. In 2023, Florida has a yield of 1.1 billion pounds, accounting for 25% of the country's output. Outside Florida, Texas, and Georgia are also the states with the largest total watermelon production in the United States. 0.9 billion pounds and 0.6 billion pounds, respectively. Watermelon harvesting is often done manually to ensure the best quality. Farmers carefully twist or cut the melon stems off the plants and place them on trucks to prepare them for transport. In California, the weather is ideal, so watermelon harvesting will start from early morning until late at night. Morning from 4 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Then, the second shift starts at from 6 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. Once harvested, watermelons are transported to a processing facility where they are washed, sorted, and packaged. Workers here carefully check the quality of each melon to ensure that only the best melons make it to market. Watermelon is one of the 10 most valuable fruit crops in the United States. In recent years, the market value of the watermelon crop has been around $500 million to $600 million per year. Next, we went to the fields of Georgia to watch farmers harvest watermelons by tossing them one after another like basketball players. Are you impressed with the way these farmers harvest watermelons? Please comment your feelings below. And that's how melons from the warm, sunny fields become cool dishes on our dinner tables. Watermelon is not only a great cooling fruit, but also contains a lot of water and nutrients. Next time you enjoy a slice of watermelon, remember the effort and care that goes into bringing this delicious fruit from the field to your table. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future adventures. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.